Uvalde Radio, your concert station. Mr. Neal McCoy there, one called Wink. I'm sure you're going to see that one live coming up on Monday night as Uvalde Radio welcomes Neal McCoy live at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo at the Frost Bank Center. Tickets are on sale right now at sarodeo.com. And right now, to get you primed up, pumped up, and even more excited about the big concert and the entire Stock Show and Rodeo, with me on the phone, not only is he the real McCoy, it is country legend Neal McCoy. How you doing, sir? Right. Oh, my goodness.
And you're right. I don't know how excited we are, but I know y'all got a great stock show down there, so we're excited about seeing that.
Yeah, so Neal, thank you so much, first of all, for taking the time out of your day to check in and get us pumped up about the show. But do you really enjoy these rodeo concerts? You know, I know you played tons of different kinds of stages over the years. Are these rodeo shows special?
You know what? They're tougher on me, so I wear myself out on them because they always put the stage, I say always, unless they've changed since the last time we've been there, and we hadn't been that one in a while. They put the stage in the middle of the in the arena.
Yeah.
And that to me just isn't close enough to the fans. So I try to get down off the stage and walk around and climb fences and sing to people out there. So I think I'm still young enough that I can do that. But if somebody sees me pass out, just let me lay there. When my oxygen comes back, I'll be all right.
I was gonna say, I mean that's first of all, that area is huge and the stage is pretty big. That takes a lot of running around. And thank you so much for doing your best to give us the best experience possible. Because again, you're up there and. It's a great show. It's a great view. You got the big screens, but really, I mean, it's an epic, area, that big Frost Bank Center, formerly the AT&T Center. So you do have experience doing the San Antonio Rodeo. Give me, if you don't mind, you got any good memories in your visits to the San Antonio Rodeo or just San Antonio in general?
We kept trying to get on down there. We couldn't get booked at the San Antonio Rodeo. So one day we were playing in Houston, playing the Houston Rodeo, as a matter of fact. And on the afternoon spot, I think like 2 o'clock, and somebody from the rodeo, I can't remember who was supposed to be there, whether it was Patty Loveless or Leanne Rhymes or somebody, and they had to cancel. So they ended up reaching out to us at the Houston Rodeo and said, how y'all feel about playing the San Antonio Rodeo tonight? And I said, I'm not sure. I said, we feel great about it if we can get there. So they said, well, we'd like to bring you down here. And they told us who was sick, and I said, okay. Well, we'll be there. So we did the Houston Rodeo, and I want to say, I put money on it, that I don't think there's another act that's done the Houston Rodeo and the San Antonio Rodeo in the same day. But we made it down there, and the rodeo had already started. At that time, they still had the stage that they drug in after the show was over, and so we started setting our stuff up on that stage real quick. And when that rodeo was over, they drug us out there, and we started, and we just had a killer show. And they said from the rodeo, I can't remember the person in charge, but they sent word, just said, let Neal McCoy know that he can play here. As long as we've got something to do with this rodeo, he can play here every year. And we did end up playing there, I think, 5 or 6 years in a row. And we're glad to be coming back and trying to reach our own bar that we've already set so high.
What a fantastic story. Neal McCoy coming in clutch, doing it, man, for Texas Rodeos. That is a fantastic story. I had no idea. So hopefully you'll get a little bit more leisure time before the show coming up on Monday. Any plans already for the travel and arrangements and anything special you like to do while in San Antonio?
You know what? We like to if we can get to the Riverwalk, we like to get there, especially this time of year, because in the summertime it's really hot out there on the Riverwalk.
Yeah, this is a good time of year to stop on by, for sure.
Play in Georgia Saturday night, so we'll be kind of coming in hot again, coming from Georgia, get into San Antonio.
Now, you're on the air in Uvalde, Texas, which we're a little southwest of San Antonio, Uvalde County. Have you ever made it down here to the Texas Hill Country River region? Did some hunting or some swimming down here in these parts?
You know what? I've been down there once, and I don't get down there much. We've done a couple of shows in that area. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
Maybe in Concan over.
I've never. Where's that?
Maybe in Concan over by the river.
Oh yes, sir. That's exactly right.
There you go.
Yep. Hey, thanks for jogging my memory.
Hey, it's okay. You've seen the world. I've only seen a few places.
Yes, sir.
Well, we look forward to having you back in our neck of the woods again. We got Neal McCoy on the phone. The show is Monday night, 7 p.m. The San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Again, get those tickets at sarodeo.com. Now, we played one of your big hits just a moment ago, but Neal, you've got new material. Let's go ahead and talk about new music. I know that you released a single last fall called, I think it was Used Car.
Used Car.
And then you got the new Little Texas cover song that's out on radio currently now. Tell me about new music. What you been up to? Get us caught up for those who just aren't up to speed yet.
Well, and there's quite a few of them because I just haven't been in the studio much. And only because getting in the studio is fun, but there's some people, artists and stuff, that really love to be in there. I do it because I know I need to get in there, and I hadn't done it in a while because we work a lot. And that's where I am best at what I do, is on a stage and going off the cuff. We don't have a set list. I've never worked one in 40 years. So
wow.
I've got a hot little band. And so anytime that somebody says, you don't get in the studio and make an album, I say, no, you know what? I'm doing shows out here, and I'm having more fun doing this. But now I have made the conscious effort because we do have a lot of supporters, and they're always trying to get their hands on something new.
Yeah.
So I'm in the studio, and like you mentioned, I wrote a song with a couple of different guys called Used Car, really, really good song. And then Dwayne Probst from Little Texas wanted to know if I'd come sing on their tribute EP or album, and I sang the First Time for Everything. So, and then I'm working on a couple of new things that are going to be coming out digitally. You know, that's how us poor boys, we don't have that major record deal and all the promotion and stuff, that money behind you. We just kind of put it out on our own, just like a lot of great Texas and Red Dirt artists do, and trying to keep our following going there. So we're looking at new stuff and we're recording new stuff, and I am pretty excited about it, but I'm just excited knowing that I get to do shows still.
But now, it's got to be pretty exciting for you, though, because you've been there, you've done that. You've sold the platinum and gold records. You've had the big, huge radio hits. You've been, the major label guy. And now the music climate has changed. The industry has changed so much to where you can record excellent quality music now at a much lower price, from what I understand. And then, of course, you can distribute it,
sure,
more independently. Have you found success in that way, kind of where a little bit less coming off the top and more going into your bank account?
Yes, sir. That is exactly right. Of course, we hadn't had a hit yet, usually, but I look forward to it. and then when we talk again, I'll let you know if there's more money. Right now, it's still kind of all going out, but we are working our audience back to us because we play in front of so many people every year, and they always want to say, "Hey, where can I get the new CD or the new album, or where can I go download it or stream it?" And so we're just new at the streaming side of it, the download side of it, but we look for big things coming from it because we've got such great loyal followers. And and they from us 90s acts, we were kind of the last hoorah about the fans that when they became fans of us, they liked us, not just our music. They came to know us. The fans now, they don't know the younger people that are doing it as much. They don't know as much about them as they do about us 90s act. And people are very loyal. So if we put something out and they like us, they're going to go buy it just because they like us.
Now, what do you find the influence? What do you find that influences your new music? I mean, whether it's coming, in big spurts or kind of more sporadically. Being in the business all these years, what inspires you these days as far as putting that pen to paper and making music?
You know what? It's something I'm not a great songwriter. I wrote Used Car with a couple of friends, and they were great songwriters. So we sat around and used my concept, and it was kind of a description of me growing up in the used car that got passed down to me.
Yeah.
But just sitting with some guys every once in a while and bringing up an idea sometimes works out to creating something good, and most of the time, at least from my point of view, it's not very good because when people have to stoop so low to get in and write a song with me, they're in trouble.
Well, man, you got some.
CD kicks in on me, and I just don't have time to. I say, guys, I got to go, man. I got to get out of here.
Again, we got Neal McCoy on the phone. The show is Monday night, 7 p.m. at the, I keep wanting to say AT&T Center. It's the Frost Bank Center now for the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Get the tickets at sarodeo.com. Now, Neal, here lately, all the buzz has been about the Grammys. If I'm not mistaken, a while back, you were nominated for a Grammy, right? Tell me what that experience was like.
Well, it's been a long time ago, but yes, sir, I sang on a compilation project, a song that Victoria Shaw wrote, who wrote I Swear and a couple other big things for some great people. And I was on there with her and Garth Brooks and only probably I think about 5 or 6 people, Brian White, and I was fortunate I was one of the ones they asked, and it was a fundraiser for I believe for cystic fibrosis. That's what the song the money they were making off the song was going to help cystic fibrosis, I believe. Now that may be wrong, but it's been 25 years ago. But
yeah.
But yeah, and I don't ever talk about my Grammy nomination. Although I'm just starting now because I see sometimes when somebody's advertising, they're saying, Grammy nominated so and so. I thought, well, golly, that can't be that hard to get. I got one of them nominations. I start talking it up now.
Hey! Don't minimize that, man. That's a feather in your cap, sir. That's fantastic stuff.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and speaking of charity work, I know that you're from East Texas and you're very heavily involved in doing some charity work out there. Anything that's any current projects that ways you want to bring attention to?
I appreciate you giving me that opportunity. The East Texas Angel Network is a foundation my wife and I created. This year is going to be our 30th year. It's to help children with life-threatening and life-challenging illnesses, to help them and their families with expenses, and it's something we've had some wonderful entertainers here over the years. I try to go out and talk to some of these country music acts, these big acts, and say, hey, if you'll come play the East Texas Angel Network for us, and come to Longview and give our fans a big shout out and big boost to help us raise money. I'll come do something for y'all, and that's worked out for me. And we just this year we went over $12 million. So in the last 29 years, we raised over $12 million. All stays here to help these children and their families. So it's something I'm extremely proud of, and I appreciate you letting me talk about it.
Absolutely fantastic. No, so if somebody's interested, where can we get more information? Is there a website or a place that we can dig up more?
Yes. You can go to nealmccoy.com and link over to the East Texas Angel Network, or you can go straight to the East Texas Angel Network and find out. And it's something that we brag on ourselves a bunch on that because it's something we're really proud of. We've helped over 600 families, and we always walk tall with our head up when somebody lets us mention it.
Now, you mentioned your wife being a part of that with you. If I'm not mistaken, you guys have been married over 40 years now. Tell me, Neal, what is this?
43 and a half.
Wow. What is the secret? Tell me the secret of that kind of success. Because record sales and concerts are great, but really it's all about keeping the family together, right?
It is, yes, sir. And there's no secret. You just got to find somebody dumb enough to marry, let somebody, their spouse, whether it's a guy or girl, just even go for it in this business. It's a tough get. It was much tougher on my wife and my kids, but we all survived it, and everybody's done well, and they've all been accepting, knowing of my time that I've sometimes it's short at home. Sometimes when we go out, I stop and talk to people because I don't want to ever be that guy that's gotten too big for his britches. And so I'll probably go too far the other way. But my family and children and grandchildren now are very understanding. They know that if we're going in a place or something and somebody stops and talks to Dad or Lolo, as our grandkids call me, they just know for them to go ahead. If they're going to a show, go and watch a show. If they're going to eat, go shop. But don't wait on me because I'm not going to leave until the last person doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
Wow, fantastic. Again, Neal McCoy's on the phone, man. The big show is Monday night at Frostbank Center for the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Now, Neal, I don't want to bring the conversation down because I'm having a good time. But, man, recently, because I know you are a patriot.
Yes,
we lost the great Toby Keith. Did you ever have any interaction with Toby? I mean, you guys are both just God-fearing, American-loving country music singers.
Yes, sir. Flag waving, you dang right.
Yeah.
Many of them. Toby and I came in trying to get in this old crazy music business about the same time. Mm-hmm. He in '93 had his first hit, which should have been a Cowboy. He was trying to beat it around for quite a while there then already. And I came over, signed with Atlantic Records in '90 and went through a couple of albums, videos, didn't get anything done. And then in '93, we released our album that ended up being a big album for us. It was called No Doubt About It, and that song, just shortly after Toby's Should Have Been a Cowboy went number one, No Doubt About It went number one.
Wow.
And we kind of went through that track together. And Toby and I had a lot in common in that he loves Oklahoma, and he didn't ever move to Nashville.
Right.
He went up there and did the things he needed to do, just like me. I've never left East Texas and don't ever plan on it. And so it can be done, although I watch all these artists that feel they need to move there, and in all reality, they have a lot better chance of making it if they do move there. But you're exactly right, and you mentioned it a while ago. My wife and I, we just kind of made a conscious effort that we want to stay in Northeast Texas in Longview and raise our kids and our grandkids because it's just a lot better place to raise family, I think, than maybe Nashville. And it has all worked. You know, we've been fortunate enough that we still had a wonderful career. So I got to have my cake and eat it too. So I'm very blessed.
Very good, man. Well, we are so excited that you're coming back to San Antonio for the big San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Is there any other things you're working on that before we let you go? I know you've given us a big chunk of time here, but I want to make sure that we get all the information we can. Any other projects or things you need to brag on?
Oh, no, shoot. I brag. I've taken enough time from y'all already. I just appreciate you even help let people know that we're out there, because we learned a long time ago. And Charlie Fried used to tell me this. I started working with him in '81, and he used to tell me all the time. He said, "Son, when you get your own show and you go traveling around," he said, "put on a great show. Give them your best show every night and be nice to people." And that's from the caterers to the stagehands to anybody that you come in touch with. And that's how we continue to work. We go out, we still do great shows, and we're nice to people. And it's crazy how simple this formula can be. But if when you're having hits, and we were having them in the 90s, and we were getting a bunch of people come see us, don't change. Don't always be the same person. Be a good guy. Be nice to people. And you'll get in. And Charlie told me that. He said, "You'll work as long as you ever want to in this business." And so far, he was right, because I've worked in it 40 years now and still going strong.
That formula seemed to work for sure, man. Well, thank you so much, Neal. We've really enjoyed catching up with you, and we're so excited about the show. Again, coming up Monday night, and get those tickets at sarodeo.com. All right, Neal, let's go ahead and play another song for me, man. Okay, so we've got Used Car. We've got the Little Texas cover. Which one do you want to hear? I want to get something new on the radio for the listeners.
Well, I tell you what, I would be greedy and say both of them, but they're going to be more familiar with the Little Texas.
You know what? We're going to do both. We're going to do both of them back to back. We're going to do both back to back. I'm going to do Used Car because that's your original work, and then we'll follow it up with the cover track. People need to hear these both. And give us just real quick before I let you go. You pretty much touched on it, but tell us about the show. Tell me who the band is real quick, and are they all greased up, ready to go?
Oh yes, sir. And they stay ready to go, and and they have to be on their heels even more than a regular band, because not having a set list, the only thing they know that what we're going to do is the first two songs that we're going to start with, because they'll come to me before the show when we're going up on stage and say, "What are we opening with?" And I'll give them two songs, and then they know they'll have those two, and then after that it's going to be helter skelter out there.
Fantastic. All right, go find the website nealmccoy.com, and right now here's the brand new track, or one of the latest tracks anyway. Used Car, Neal McCoy. Thank you so much for your time, sir. We really appreciate you. God bless you, man.
Yes, sir. I'll see you, buddy. Thank you.
We brought our first dog, Prince.